Last November I went to Barcelona Knits and I got this Tine and Floyd braid because I had an idea. Remember that 3-color sock yarn that I did? Like 3 plies, 3 different colors. Perfect! What if I did that on a bigger scale? This is a 100 grams braid. And so are these two. Each a different single? Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I have no real topic for this video except that I just want to spin these 3 braids together. And I think for that I'm going to take my Christine just because of the practical reason that Christine has enough bobbins. It's also been a while since I spun on her. Now, to keep the spinning as visually interesting as possible for myself, I'm going to first spin one of these braids, of which I have 2, then spin the Tine and Floyd one, and then spin the other one of these 2. Like, just to keep having new things on my bobbins all of the time. This one is by Speckles in the Forest. It is it's actually 125 grams. What the hell? That is weird. Anyway, 125 grams of Blueface Leicester. Is there a name of the color? No, apparently there is not. Anyway, it is this gorgeous purple-orange mix. I'm having a purple-orange phase for over a year now, so we're just going to spin it. I'm just going to spin this as is. It feels the slightest bit compacted, so I'm just floofing it up a little bit. It's been in a vacuum bag for more than a year, so it being compacted seems perfectly normal.
Allebei Palestijns gebied. Over welke NGO's het precies gaat is nog niet duidelijk. Israël wil hen op die manier dwingen om meer informatie vrij te geven over hun Palestijnse medewerkers. Iets wat de
As this is just a cozy spin, I have moved myself inside because, well, outside currently it is freezing, which means that the studio is just a little bit above that. So yeah, just cozy spinning inside. And I'm opting this time for a short forward draft of this wool. 2025 for me was a year in which I have almost exclusively spun everything long draw. But today I just wanted to feel the wool between my fingers, to be mindful, to just enjoy this little spin. Well, not a little spin, 300 grams and more. But I just wanted to enjoy the spinning a bit and look at all the pretty colors that will be passing before my eyes. And then I thought, well, why not just do a little bit of inchworming? It's such soft, nice yarn. I want to feel every millimeter of it. And with some cozy spinning, there of course needs to be some cozy tea in one of my favorite mugs. I say one of my favorite mugs because this is not the one that you saw earlier, even though it has the same pattern. This is a new one that my mom got me for Christmas, and funnily enough, I just want to show you this. I don't know why I'm showing this in this video, but any video is good enough. You can see this, right? It's not the same shape. It's a lot wider than my original Arcopal Lotus mug. Were there different molds over different years at Arcopal? Maybe something like that? I don't know. Are there Arcopal connoisseurs in the audience that can tell me why my 2 tea mugs are different sizes? I don't actually mind, because this one holds more tea now, but it's weird. You can't really fit them in another and stack them. Anyway, cozy tea for me during my cozy spinning. Now, speaking of my mom's Christmas gifts, this was what I got for Christmas 2024. So I think it's about time that I started spinning this. And I'm just loving these colors. They're both super vibrant but also muted. It's just the best of both worlds. Let me bring you in a little closer so you can just enjoy the perfection that are these colors. You see? both muted, vibrant. Ah, it's so pretty. When I was driving home just now, it was snowing, like big snowflakes hitting against my windshield, and I thought, oh yeah, snow is going to be so cozy to spin a little bit while it's snowing, you know, pure winter feels, and it's going to translate so well on camera. But then I got home and I did a little trip to the bathroom, and then it actually started raining instead of snowing. So yeah, we will have to make it cozy and wintry ourselves. I have started a tea, and I think I'm going to light a little scented candle just to make it cozy, because I'm going to show you what is left of the snow. It is the antithesis to cozy. The first snow of 2026. My hand is doing weird stuff in the reflection of the window. A first braid is spun up into this rather full jumbo bobbin. Very sunset-like, I think. Yeah, really pretty. Now we are going to spin the Tine and Floyd braid, which kind of has the same colors, but is a lot more pastel-like. And I hope that when I apply all of it together, so two of these and then one of this one will bring just a little bit of balance in between all the really contrasting colors that this braid has. Maybe I should just show the second braid to make it a bit more clear to you. That would be smart. So yeah, I hope that just having that really heathered feeling of this Tine and Floyd braid together with the two Speckles in the Forest braids will make a very consistent looking yarn that just like really flows, feels soft but also bold at the same time. That at least is how it's looking like in my brain, and well, you will have to wait until the end of the video to see if my brain vision comes true. I also hope that it texturally, sensory will give a little bit of extra interest, because the Speckles in the Forest braid that I just did is 100% BFL, and this one is Polwarth and with a wool and viscose nap blend. So it's going to be softer, smoother because of the Polwarth, but there's also going to be those little naps that are only going to appear in one of the three singles. So exciting! snow. Snow, 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 snow. I might have said in previous videos, ooh, it's knurping so good. I might have said in previous videos that I'm not always a big fan of like cold weather seasons, but this is good. It's knurping so nice under my feet. Winter is the moment when I appreciate my crafts the most. Like when I appreciate spinning the most. Firstly, it's a very cozy, warm thing that you can do inside. It's so nice. But also, it makes me warm. My mittens, hand spun. My scarf, hand spun. My hat, hand spun. And I am warm. The only thing that is not warm right now is my legs, because it's just some nylon pantyhose. It's not very warm. It's not wool. So now that means that I can do my cozy spinning in a warm house when it's snowing. Thing that I wasn't able to do yesterday. I've got a couple more minutes before I have to go to work, so let's spin just a little bit. It's probably like 5 minutes only, but I'm going to enjoy those 5 minutes nonetheless. I feel like in 2025 I didn't spin all that much on these like lost moments. I feel like I had some kind of idea fix in my head that if I were going to spin for a video, then I had to do it on Sundays when there was a lot of time and I could just spend all the time in the studio. But that is a silly idea fix that we should leave in 2025. I have now just been dividing my evenings into like what I want to do. Let's say, for the ease of counting, that after dinner and after washing up, I still had 3 hours in an evening. Then, right now, I would divide the time that I had 1 hour of spinning. I would continue with knitting on one of my projects for an hour. And then, to finish off the evening, I'd read a bit. Right now, I'm reading The Lathe of Heaven by Ursula K. Le Guin. I don't know how to say her name, but that's what I'm currently reading. It's already my second book of the year and we're the 9th of January. So this method of dividing up my time, my stolen moments in 3 hours is not what happens. Never. But that was just for the ease of counting. And I got so much more accomplished than with that idea fix of I need to have a big chunk of time to do this. Yesterday evening, I didn't get any spinning in the rotation because I did another thing. I framed one of my paintings for an upcoming exhibition locally. I had to cut the passepartout myself. It's not really good. I don't know if you can see, the corners are a little bit fraying. But it will have to do anyway. That's what I did instead of spinning yesterday. But since we have like 3 more minutes, I'm going to spin those now. And as you can see, we're already quite ahead in this second single of this triply. Now that I have managed to pour myself a cup of tea, I can wish you a fine frosty morning, friends. Cheers! And on this fine frosty morning, we have 3 filled bobbins. Ah yes, we can start plying this monster of a project. I'm so excited. Like you can see, these 2 are super duper filled, but also the colors are different. Like there was a different color sequence on the braids, and this will ensure that we have pure and ultimate chaos when we ply it. Also, I spun this one a little bit different. Here I just floofed the braid out widthwise and just went across the width all of the time. Here I also spread it out, like I pre-drafted it lengthwise, which meant that sometimes the color patches would be shorter, would be laying next to someone else, and yeah, I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be great. I also have the arrogance to think that I'm going to be able to do this in a day, or at least fill 1 bobbin of plied yarn in a day. Like I am pretty sure that all of this won't fit on 1 bobbin. It's going to be a multi-bobbin endeavor. And the top one over here, the purple one, the Tine and Floyd braid, is going to run out first. Well, because that was a 100 grams braid and the other 2 were 125 grams. So that is what I think is going to happen. Currently, it's giving bisexual pride flag, which I love for it and for us. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but it has a pink, really light purple and a dark purple. I know it's blue in the bisexual pride flag, but it has the vibes. It has the correct kind of vibes. So filling this first bobbin actually took me like 2 hours. Yeah, I didn't feel the need to go full extreme ends of bobbin chicken with this, because we have to ply another bobbin, at least 1 more. So I'm going to take it off on my niddy noddy, and I will just continue because it's not even noon. And here is our first skein of yarn. Just look at how much depth there is in these colors. Ooh. Oh my god, I am truly in love with this. These might not be my regular colors, but this is so pretty. Oh yeah. During the spinning of the singles, I doubted my choice of adding the Tine and Floyd yarn to the Speckles in the Forest yarn. Like maybe it was better to just spin the 2 braids of Speckles in the Forest together. But now that I see this, it just adds so much dimension to this yarn. Like there are spots where the 2 braids of Speckles in the Forest, so like the variegated braids, got to a point where it's like the same color that was next to each other, but then because we had that other braid in it, there still is so much contrast in there. Oh, it's so pretty. I can't wait actually to start knitting with this, even though I haven't even finished spinning it all. I think the color sequence when knit up is just going to look so pretty and gradual and yeah, that's the first one. Very squishy, very chunky. Let's go for a second. So as predicted, the light purple singles has run out. We still have quite a bit of the other ones. So it is once again niddy noddy time, and then we'll make a beautiful 2-ply. That actually still was a lot of yarn left over on my bobbins. But now that you can see the 2 types together, like this is a 3-ply with the extra braid, and this is just the 2-ply of the Speckles in the Forest braids. I'm really happy that I went this route. This is a pretty yarn, this is absolutely gorgeous, but this just feels like a tad bit more magical. Is it the inclusion of the uniform light purple, or are it the little tweed flecks every now and then? I don't know what makes this yarn scream more magic to me, but it does. It does. This is a good yarn, of course. This is pretty. It has great color changes, a little bit of barber pulling, very pretty yarn. This would have been amazing if I decided to just spin it a 2-ply, but I'm glad that I didn't. Probably amongst you there are some that want to know the deets, want to know the numbers. So my first skein, the big chongus, is 308 meters over 170 grams. I couldn't really decide on my little reps per inches tool if this was an 11 or a 12 reps per inch, so I have determined it to be a sport/DK weight, just somewhere between that. And then this one also in that same 11 to 12 reps per inches ballpark, but this one is 185 meters for approximately 100 grams. And then the 2-ply, as I said, was unexpectedly a lot of yarn. This is 215 meters and it's approximately 80 grams. And since this is only a 2-ply, it is thinner, of course. This was in the fingering range, so between 14 and 16 reps per inches. And with these, I have officially already passed the threshold of 1 kilometer of yarn spun in 2026. I know it's a little bit cheating because all the spindle spun yarns that I count in this 1 kilometer were partially spun in 2025, but last year I just looked in my fiber diary and I hit the 1 kilometer around Easter. It's January 25th. I'm so ahead. Yeah. I know it's not a race, it's not about the numbers, but I just get very motivated by that. Like seeing the numbers, seeing that I have already 1 kilometer of yarn. I don't know, it makes me feel good and it motivates me. This is what I set out to do. But contrary to like that idée fixe that I had in my mind, contrary to the way I have been tackling my projects in like the 2 previous years, but especially in 2025, I did this over small little increments over the entirety of January. Well, small little increments with the exception of today where I just plowed through because I really wanted to get this yarn done. I also really want just to have this yarn because now I have all kinds of ideas for it. And I hope that this yarn can be a reminder for myself that I can just have a project that I work on in small increments of time. Honestly, I really need to teach my brain not to go all or nothing on everything. Like, I want to show you my sketchbooks. I know this sounds weird and totally random, but it is connected in a way, I promise. So, a couple of my sketchbooks. And, well, I think the most important thing I want to say about these sketchbooks, especially these two, because this is my latest one and I'm trying to be better at it, is, I don't know if it's clear to you, but I have been ripping a lot of pages out of there. As you can see, a ripped page over here. And that is because I kind of treat my sketchbooks as portfolios rather than sketchbooks. If I'm not 100% content with something, I will rip it out. And then if I'm not content with what is in the sketchbook, I will abandon it. There's still so many pages left in this one. And really, I always treat it as some kind of, a portfolio, trying to show how good I am. And not as like a commonplace for experiments and stuff. No, it has to be like finished drawings and not a sketchbook. And it's the same kind of all or nothing thinking that has been plaguing me in my spinning last year. Like I had to have this project done within a certain way, and it has to be perfect, and it has to be this, and this, and no, I can just have my spinning wheel next to the sofa, just to spin every now and then have, well, 600 meters of yarn. And I'm trying also to be better at it with my sketchbook, so this is my most recent one. And I'm really not trying to be all that good. It's a place for experiments. I still rip out pages because this one had to be pasted back because, you know, I'm still teaching myself how to be better at it. But this is experimental. This is not just how good I am. This is just literally tape on a bit of ink. Yeah, just letting a sketchbook be a sketchbook. Letting my creative practice be free and chaotic. Like the way I always tell you that I want to be and that I encourage you to be, it's sometimes hard for me to live to my own words. Oh, maybe I'm going too far with this, and this video is probably already really long, but I don't know, I think you like long videos to just watch whenever you are crafting yourself. So I'm just going to blab on a little bit, but not for too long. So as much as I want my sketchbooks to be a free place of experimentation with my art, I need to remind myself that I can do the same thing with my spinning wheels. Like there can just be a spinning wheel next to the sofa where I spin on every now and then. I don't need to get to something, get to a goal. I mean, it's nice. It's nice that I got to the goal, and it's nice that it's really super nice yarn. But it's also nice that I didn't need to feel to pressure myself to get it done in a specific time frame. It could just be there when I needed it. Anyway, if you like these kind of fiber shenanigans, then maybe you could like, comment or subscribe. But of course, that is all up to you. And as for me, I will wet finish this yarn, and afterwards I will see you in a next video. But before we do that, maybe you could look at some more spinning shenanigans. Bye.